This is an instructional video for the floor gap fixer, available at floorgapfixer.com. This product is used to close gaps that have opened up between flooring planks and a floating floor system. Anyone that has a floating floor system in their house knows these gaps frequently occur but are extremely hard to close. It is no longer a problem with the floor gap fixer. Here are before and after shots of a floating flooring system where the floor gap fixer has been used to close gaps between adjacent flooring planks. There are a couple steps you need to follow in order to successfully close gaps that have opened up between flooring planks. Clean out the debris that has accumulated in the gaps with a vacuum or brush. Take a damp cloth and wipe away any debris that is on the flooring plank you want to move. Allow the plank to dry or wipe dry. Remove the protective plastic backing. Center the floor gap fixer on the flooring plank 1 inch from the gap and press down firmly to adhere. Hold the floor gap fixer with one hand and apply slight pressure. Strike the end opposite the gap with a mallet until the gap closes. Simply pry up on the floor gap fixer and move it to the next gap. The floor gap fixer is reusable and does not leave any residue on the flooring plank. After you close the first gap, move the floor gap fixer to the adjacent plank where a new gap has opened up. Clean the floor plank of any debris with a damp cloth and allow to dry. Remove the protective plastic backing. Center the floor gap fixer on the flooring plank 1 inch from the gap and press down firmly to adhere. Strike the end opposite the gap with a mallet until the gap closes. Continue this process until you reach the plank closest to the wall baseboard molding. The beginning and end of each row of planking will be covered by the wall baseboard molding. The end result is a gapless floor with no need to remove baseboard molding or use filler compounds. Shown here is an overhead shot of the steps to follow to close gaps with the floor gap fixer. First, clean out the debris that has accumulated in the gaps with a vacuum or brush. Second, take a damp cloth and wipe away any debris that has accumulated on the flooring plank. Next, remove the protective plastic backing. Then, center the floor gap fixer on the flooring plank 1 inch from the gap and press down firmly to adhere. Strike the end opposite the gap with the mallet until the gap closes. To remove the floor gap fixer, simply pry up with your hands and move to the next gap. Dirt may have accumulated on the floor gap fixer suction pad. To remove, take a damp cloth and wipe clean. The floor gap fixer is reusable and does not leave any residue on the flooring planks. Place the protective plastic backing on the bottom of the floor gap fixer when the job is complete. This tool can be used on a wide range of floorboard styles. It is the only tool you need to close frequently occurring gaps caused by seasonal changes in humidity, high traffic, or poor installation. The floor gap fixer is available at www.floorgapfixer.com.